In today's excerpts of DC's South Asian Film Festival by Caesar Productions, we have an interview with India's acclaimed director, Shyam Benegal.
It's been very good, actually. Manoj Singh is doing something which is wonderful, because I think this part, the metro area of DC, seems to, there was a need for this, because I can see that the enthusiasm with which this festival has been accepted means that it has possibilities in the future. And since Manoj Singh has decided that it is going to be a South Asian Film Festival, it means it's going to be extended. So not only will there be Indian films, there will be Pakistani films, Bangladeshi films, Nepali films, and Sri Lankan films, which is a wonderful idea. But this year, of course, there are only Indian films. But look at the way people are watching the films, the Q&A sessions are going so well. So obviously, there is a future for this festival. And for me, it has been a very good experience. It's very difficult to say because, I don't know. But I do know that more money is being earned by Indian films in the US today than ever before. That I know, but that's already happening. And then there are people like Shah Rukh Khan and so on and so forth. His films do much, much better here than some of the other Indian heroes, But the fact is that it has gained acceptance to a large extent. And but you see, you can only tell when we are actually competing with the local products, how well we do in that competition. We haven't come to that stage yet. So that terminology, in fact, is now obsolete. There's no such terminology because it's converged, and you see, film primarily has to be entertaining, but it's a question of what level, what kind of entertaining, what kind of entertainment, and what kind of engagement that you want audiences to have, So that has to do with the way films are actually made. Now, this generation of filmmakers, young generation of filmmakers today, are making extremely wonderful pictures. And nobody is saying, oh, these are art movies or anything like that. They are films that are engaging audiences with subjects that are also very serious, intelligent. They're not mindless films. Yes, you continue to have mindless films as well, along with very mindful films. But the number of mindful films that are being made today are much more than they ever used to be in the past. The boundaries, of course, are blurring between different kinds of genres of films, which is a wonderful thing as far as Indian cinema is concerned. Well, you see, first of all, that name was rather unfortunate. It was, I would call it alternate cinema, an alternate form of entertainment than what the mainstream used to provide. Now, there is no such thing that it has died. How could it have died? Because it's only extended itself. It hasn't died. And the so-called parallels have actually converged. So there is no parallel cinema. There is good cinema, there's bad cinema, there's indifferent cinema. And that is how it should be. In terms of technological use, yes, the quality of technology, and in terms of the finish, the more today's Indian films are very smartly made, much more smartly made than they used to. They don't look rough at the edges as they used to in the past, because we are using exactly the same technologies, the same state-of-the-art technologies that are being used elsewhere in the world are being used in Indian cinema as well. So the question does not arise. Ultimately, it's a question of what kind of quality of films in terms of content, in terms of narratives, in terms of performance qualities, in terms altogether of the story itself. What is it that you wish to tell? Whether that has any weight or it doesn't, whether it's just powder puff. So we make all kinds of films, and the quality of the films in terms of content is also getting better overall. I don't mean all films are like that, but like every film industry everywhere in the world, there will always be films that are seen as money spinners, those that are seen as thoughtful, intelligent films, and those that are seen as very intellectual ones. So we have all these kind of films even in India. And so the question simply does not arise. So our cinema, if it's going to be comparable, can be compared to any cinema in the world. And since we are the largest filmmakers in the world, and only the US comes close second, we compare ourselves largely with American cinema for the same reason, because the universally accepted cinema is US cinema, and in our country, universally accepted cinema is our own cinema. Excellent. You look at some of today's actors, they're absolutely first rate, and there's never any problem in terms of the quality of performance. And in fact, because we have also such a large cadre of wonderful actors, so we are never short of good actors, as far as India is concerned, because we produce them by the bushels full. There is never any problem. Today, it's very difficult to look at a film and say, this film has very poor acting. Doesn't happen anymore. Oh yes, definitely, but I would rather not talk about what has not yet fructified.